Raise your hand if you've ever had a brilliant video idea, but you talked yourself out of filming because you didn't have time to do your hair, or your camera setup wasn't perfect, or you just didn't feel like being on camera that day. Yeah, me too. And that used to stop me from creating content consistently until I discovered something that completely changed the game. What you're looking at right now is my AI avatar. And before you think this required a computer science degree or hundreds of dollars in AI subscriptions, let me stop you right there. I created this entire animated character using free and budget-friendly tools anyone can master, even if you can barely figure out how to update your phone. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you my exact step-by-step process for creating your own professional AI avatar from scratch. No expensive cameras, no perfect lighting setups, no worrying about what you look like on any given day. Just consistent, professional-looking content that you can create anytime, anywhere. Whether you're a busy professional who can't always be camera-ready, someone who values their privacy, or you just want the freedom to create content without the usual barriers, this tutorial will give you everything you need to launch your own Faceless YouTube channel. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to create your avatar, animate it, and start posting videos that look like they cost serious money to produce, but didn't. Let's dive in and build your digital presence the smart way using only a few tools: Design, Dreamface, Video Frame Extractor, and Canva Pro. So, getting into it. The first thing that I do is use Design, and I have to create my AI character. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to head into Design, go to the sidebar tab called Character, select Build Your Character. From there, you can choose to build it from a description or from pre-existing images if you have any. This is good if you have characters made from another program like Midjourney or something similar. And the great thing about Design is that you can make it look like anything. So for my character, I will put the original prompt on the screen. That is the prompt for the original look of my avatar in my first few videos. And how I originally got that idea is by going to Pinterest and looking up different art styles. But you do not have to do the same thing that I did. You can make your character look like absolutely anything. A furry, a character that looks nothing like you, or you can have your character have certain themes depending on your niche. You really can make your avatar look exactly the way that you want. So keep on generating different character sheets for your person and refining the prompt until you find something that you like. Then it's time to use the consistent character feature to train a model of your character. And that's going to make it so easy to have your character look like your character in every image generation. So the face isn't going to look all wonky, or the hair, and even the hands and fingers are starting to look really good by AI standards. So the way that you do that is you generate enough images of your character, which is usually 3, but I believe you can do up to 20. And then, like I said, you go to that consistent character, and it usually takes between 20 and 45 minutes to put together. But you can train the look of your character, and the great thing is that once you have your character trained and it has a good idea of how it's supposed to look, then you can alter their look for different situations. So for example, I can create my character wearing a new outfit or a different hairstyle, and that's actually what I did starting a couple of videos ago, and you can see the difference. But the face stays the same, which is what's really important. It almost becomes a sort of doll that you can play with. Once you're satisfied with your consistent character now, it's time to create the image of whatever environment your character is going to be talking from. So this is a good time to think about the sort of vibe your channel has and what environment you want your character talking in while you're doing this talking head or A-roll segment. So same deal, you'll still be in your consistent character tab, and then you can type in this certain box on the left-hand side. So of course, make sure the box that describes your character has, the correct details as far as their age, look, outfit, hair, and things like that. You'll describe what you want your character to be doing and in what environment. So for my character, I said something about, she's at a modern looking wooden desk with her laptop facing the camera in a modern minimalist apartment. Something to that effect. So generate a couple of those until you feel comfortable with it and like you really like it, because this is going to be the basis of all of the videos you're about to make. And this is one of the reasons that I love Design, because in the same app, if you go over to AI Video, you can use that image as a basis and then describe what action you want done within this image. Now, Design has a ton of different AI video creators that you can use, but I always have success with Kling, so I recommend that. Depending on what tier of Design you get, you really only have so many video credits, so I really encourage you to be precise with your prompting. So tell them exactly what angle they're looking at, any camera movement, what's going on with the hands, the hair, the face, and anything in the background. That way you don't waste credits. Also, I recommend that you do the 10-second video because we are going to want to make about 30 seconds of a sequence in order to eventually add this into the lip sync. Now that you have your first video done and you like the look of it, it's time to get ready to fit it in with the second video. And the way that we do that is we go ahead and download that first video you just made, and then you're going to go to Video Frame Extractor and you're going to upload that video that you just made. Now, assuming that you did the 10-second version like I usually do, you're going to have it make 10 frames, 1,000 milliseconds apart. That way you're able to get the last frame. So ignore all the other ones that get generated except for that last frame, and you're going to download that. That is going to be the starting point of your second video, so that way you'll have all of video A, and the end of video A becomes the start of video B. So take that frame and head back to design. Now you're going to clear the canvas and you're going to upload that video frame onto the canvas. And using that, you're going to open up the AI video section again. And this time you are going to, again, describe what action you have going on. Now, usually because this is just the avatar talking, I keep it somewhat simple. Of course, this depends on the personality of your avatar, but I tend to keep the movements very minimal and natural. So as weird as it sounds, I think about what kind of actions I make while I'm talking. That way it mimics not only my voice, but eventually also my natural movements. So for me, this means talking with one hand sometimes, moving or bobbing my head back and forth, raising my eyebrows, and generally speaking enthusiastically. Sometimes if you give it just a hint of what action you want done, along with the context of what emotion or expression, Kling will usually take care of the rest, because it's very, very advanced. So again, generate that as many times as you need to find one that feels natural and keeps all the look and color the same. And then you're going to repeat that same process of downloading that video, going to Video Frame Extractor, telling it that you want 10 frames, 1,000 milliseconds apart, and you're going to again take that last frame. Make sure that when you're doing all of this, you're labeling them appropriately. So video A end, video B end, things like that. That way it's easy to assemble when we need to make the full sequence. Theoretically, you can chain as many of these together as you want, but I find that just doing 30 seconds in total, so 3 videos, is plenty for my purposes. So after you have done 3 in a row, you are set to put these together and make a full sequence that will become your entire A-roll. So to put it together, this is where your Canva Pro account will come in handy. What you do is upload all 3 videos into a video format that's usually 1920 by 1080, although you can just search video and that will pull it up usually. Then you'll put them in order, of course, and then there's just a slight little bit of tweaking that needs to get done to really mesh them together. So back when we did our video frame extractor, we had to end on the last frame. Sometimes there's a little bit of a hang off of maybe a second or two. And if you keep that in there without editing, it's going to make the spaces in between your videos look a little bit choppy. So what you're going to want to do, and this can take a little bit of work, but you're going to want to try to find where, for example, video B begins and try to match that frame at the end of video A. And this does not have to be perfect, because luckily Canva has a built-in smudger with the match and move transition. So it will try to match to a certain degree the frames in between videos. So that's there to help you even if it's not perfect. And even if, after all this, it's still not absolutely perfect, do not let that stop you from producing the video. People care way more about the value that you're creating than this being an absolutely frame-perfect masterpiece. So in total, this should be between 25 and 30 seconds usually, and that is the perfect length for our next part, which is lip syncing our audio to this video. And for that, you will need a Dreamface subscription. And I'm telling you, it is super worth it. It's only like maybe $29, at least at the time of this recording, for the whole year, or $5 per week if you really want to save right now. But there is an advantage of having a pro account, which is that you can lip sync up to 3 minutes at a time. And if you want to splurge and go even higher, I think it'll let you do 10 minutes at a time. So all you do is upload your video, and then it'll give you the option to record straight from the website, or you can upload audio, which is what I do. I can talk about the full process of creating this Faceless channel and how I do the audio at a different time in a different video, but in essence, I use a different app to record my audio, chop it into 3-minute segments, and then upload it 1 video at a time using Dreamface. Another thing that's cool that you might be interested in is that you can use one of their pre-made voices, and they have a good bit of selection, I would say. Or you can even use it to record your own voice and create a clone of that. So it'll still sound like you, but you don't have to speak into it every single time, which is great for all of my people out there who are super busy entrepreneurs, moms who have full-time jobs, things like that. It can be a huge time saver. I just don't personally use it. Now, of course, because at least at the level I use it, you can only do 3-minute stints at a time, you will have to do this in chunks, and it's fine. This is a great thing to do while you have other stuff going on, so you can do, say, laundry in between all of this, clean the house, whatever you need to do. After you have all of your 3-minute segments, now you have to put that together, and that's where Canva comes back in. Now, for this in particular, I do recommend that you have a Canva Pro account because it gives you access to all kinds of different editing elements. It even has a huge library of music that you can also use. So you can get a huge library of music, and it's good stuff. It's not like bad stock music. And you can even connect it to social media, and as long as it's connected to your Canva account, you won't get struck down about it. So sometimes because you are using the same 30-second segment, the videos don't always loop together perfectly. And so you can treat it just like when we were creating the sequence itself, where you tried to match the frames from the beginning and end of different videos. Or you can use different effects that are, I believe, exclusive to Canva Pro. So you can do things like match and move, where it tries to match the frames itself, or you can do a different one that makes for a smoother transition, like the color wipe, which is probably my favorite, although they're all really good, honestly. And for only $119, a Canva Pro subscription is one of the best investments I've ever made. So after you have linked all of your 3-minute dream face segments together, you can also add in music. And if you find that your vocal recording and your music are at different levels, you can go up to the little microphone, like the sound setting up there, and click balance. And it will balance the sound of all of your clips and all of your music. And it's probably the easiest way to deal with your sound possible. Now you can just add in your transitions and keep it as the sort of talking head or A-roll segment. But you can also use B-roll while keeping the audio of your A-roll, and here's probably the easiest way to do that. You can get a little frame, one of these little square frames, and put that on top of your A-roll segment. You take that little square and you size it up so that it covers all of the A-roll, and then from there you can add in whatever you want. Stock videos, your own videos, or even static photos. I will say that another great thing about Canva Pro is that it has an awesome selection of stock footage that's all included with your account, so you don't have to go to a stock photography or a video site and pay individually. From there, all you would do is line it up with the spoken parts you want to cover on the timeline, and that's that. Now, if you're like me and you'd like to use these animated captions, you can also do that directly in this video editing part of Canva Pro. And for that, you'll come down to the sidebar next to where it says captions. You'll select what videos you want to have captions for, and then from there you can style them just about however you want. Now, these are auto captions, so you'll want to read through and make sure that it is matching pretty well. Especially if you have a slight or thick accent like I do, sometimes it will misread what words you're saying. Now, of course, you'll want to make sure that these captions are visible over your video. So make sure that they aren't too dark or too light in order to be read. But you can style them in pretty cool ways too, sort of like you would see on TikTok or other social media platforms. And this is helpful not just to keep attention, but to keep your videos accessible to more people. And after you have all of your videos linked, you've put in whatever B-roll you want, you've added music and captions if you desire, it is all ready to go. And now all you have to do is upload that to YouTube. Now, another note, especially about music, is that if you are using something that is not strictly stock music, you'll want to make sure that when you download from Canva, that you connect it to your YouTube account, and that will prevent you from getting struck. So far, I haven't had any problems with this, but if I do, I'll be sure to let you know. And there you have it, your complete blueprint for creating a professional AI avatar without breaking the bank or needing a tech degree. Here's the truth that no one talks about. Some of the most successful content creators aren't the ones with the fanciest equipment or the most polished appearance. They're the ones who show up consistently with valuable content. And now you have zero excuses not to show up. Your AI avatar doesn't care if you're having a bad hair day, if your kids are screaming in the background, or if you're creating content at 11 p.m. in your pajamas. It's ready when you are, and that consistency is what builds audiences and changes lives. I know it might feel weird at first, putting yourself out there through a digital character. But remember, your ideas, your voice, your expertise, that's all still 100% you. You're just removing the barriers that were keeping you from sharing your message with the world. If this tutorial gave you permission to finally start that YouTube channel you've been thinking about, smash that like button. It tells me you're ready to take action on building your online presence. And if you want more tutorials on creating content without the overwhelm, subscribe, because I'm all about helping you build your brand the sustainable way. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the first video topic you're going to tackle with your new AI avatar? I love seeing what ideas you're excited to bring to life, and honestly, your success stories are what keep me motivated to create these tutorials. Your avatar is waiting to be created, and your audience is waiting to hear what you have to say. Don't let the old barriers stop you from sharing your brilliance with the world.